such an asshole.
How you kids doing? Bad Cappy here. Bad because I have several clients that have been waiting for responses, but I have been traveling across the country one way. I'm travel across the other way. And then you're like, gosh dang it, is Tennessee a long state? Very long. So here's a request that I do apologize in advance for the delay. Hi, Cappy. Been a viewer for about 2 years now, and I honestly couldn't agree more with what you say about women. I'm 21, 6 foot, 173 pounds. I like the precision. 170, not 174. 172, not by a long shot. 173. I'm 6 foot, 173 pounds, African American. No, you are not. You're on my team. You're on Team Correct. You're on Team Man. You're a black guy. I'm a white guy. You and I don't have the life expectancy to say African American. We don't do that. We don't do that. Be black. Be proud. Right? Don't play into that stuff. Yeah, dude, I'm just black. Yeah, he's just white too. Oh my God, I'm a Caucasian American. What's that like? Not you, but for those of you that are so obsessed about yourself, is it just like jerking yourself out and coming into your own face? Oh my God, I'm a Latinx, which they don't really actually believe. I'm a disabled lesbian black woman. Oh, I'm so great. Don't do that. All right, 6 foot, 173 pounds, black dude with 6-pack abs, lean muscular, so defined. You can see it under my clothes. Wow. And I don't want to say what you do because that's pretty precise. But you got a real job and you got a really cool side gig job. That's one of them status jobs that girls look for. My question is, how and why is it so unbelievably hard to find a woman who's genuinely interested and keep her interest? In my experience, I'm able to attract them all, but my relationships in my lifetime ended in them cheating. I feel emotionally jaded and confused in theory. I'm the exact thing these women said they wanted and yet get thrown away all the time for them to go get dicked down by a loser who almost all the time looks considerably worse than me. Yes, but okay. Hang on, let me write this down. There's a lot more. Okay, first, there's their age. Then you're not T-Rash. We'll talk about him later. T-Rash. And then what the hell? Oh, T-Rash. Oh, and then culture. There we go. All right, got that done. Okay. The cheating, I feel emotionally jaded. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. I was too good looking. Okay, get dicked down by a loser who almost all the time looks considerably worse than me. I also never pursue women if they don't show massive interest first. So my first question is if I'm going about it the right way, i.e. pursuing only those who are interested. And so, no, that's correct. You don't have time. You're a young man. You don't have time to chase after girls that are interested. And as I've gotten older, I've come more than I already was around to believing in that. You don't want to be pulling teeth. You don't have time to be pulling teeth. Like the girl is either willing going out with you or not. That's it. You don't have time to get stood up. That's an hour of your time wasted. So first question is if I'm going about it the right way, i.e. pursuing only those who are interested and still losing at this game. What am I doing wrong? Money isn't an issue. You make a handsome salary. Okay, here's another. Man, you are 21. And this isn't your fault because you didn't control when you were born. But you're young and you don't understand. You've been here 2 years. Follow me in on this. What if it's not you? What if society is wrong? Well, I'm going to recommend after you watch this video, go watch the hardest question I had to answer on my YouTube channel. I think that's the title of it. But what makes you think it's you? You've already listed some amazing things, and they're amazing. Okay, the 6-pack abs, that's really hard to come by. You got your shit together for a 21-year-old. God damn it, Windows. Oh God. You broke the 6 foot. You got a really cool job and you got a real day job. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think's wrong with you? And don't be humble. Really just think, what's wrong with you? And if you come up with, I can't think of anything, yeah, it's probably the right answer. I'm not trying to suck your dick when I'm saying those. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with them. This doesn't excuse us from always reflecting on ourselves, making sure we're not screwing up. Like, oh, do I talk too much? Do I stink? But I'm just going to guess it's probably not you, man. You ever watch Fresh and Fit? I know it's not an exact sampling of American women, but go watch the whatever podcast. Go watch Fresh and Fit. You don't have to watch a ton of episodes, but go watch the shows where they have these girls on, and you go watch those girls, and you tell me if you're the one with the problem or if those girls are the ones with the problem. It'll become very apparent very quickly. I'm just gonna guess, for the sake of brevity and statistics, it ain't you. So you got to stop thinking, what am I doing wrong? You're probably not doing anything wrong, man. You're probably not. My second question is, has it really gotten so bad that I need to just give up on dating? I'm pretty much ready to call it quits at this point, because even going about it, quote unquote, the right way has gotten me fucked over time and time again. Please grant me some insight I'm missing. All right. So the one thing we could tell you for almost certain, it's not you, it's them. If you don't believe it, go watch. The other thing, and I wrote these down. Let's go through the list here. All right, first, this is like 80% of your problem, which isn't your problem. It's your age. You're 21, dude. Women your age are not interested in settling down or getting married or anything like that. That is not, they're just not there. They weren't in my day. They weren't. Everyone like, oh, we should go to college. We should, okay. They're in the party phase, unless you're dating older, which I'm not even necessarily against. Like, if you want to get married and have kids, like you really want to get committed to one gal, you don't want to just play the field, well, then maybe start dating 25, 26, 27. And even they're going to have reservations about dating someone so young. But right now, yeah, you're 21. That's like the least prone to get married and commit age of women. They just got the legal right to drink. They're still not out of college. They're in their physical beauty and prime. They are the least likely to be thinking seriously about serious relationships. So I think that's the main one, because you're dating what, 18 to 23? Because I don't think you can date 17, because like rule, like, I'm not against the rules. It's just they have some rules. Each state is like, well, okay, we understand like a 19-year-old dating a 17-year-old isn't the worst thing, and they make some accommodations. But by your age, you're probably dating 18 plus. So 18 to 23, that's like the least interested in commitment and marriage and serious relationship girl age you could possibly find. So there's that. This doesn't really explain why you're not finding quality girls, but it explains why a lot of girls leave you. You're not T-Rash. Look at you. You're Dudley Do-Right. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'd love to tell you guys what he has for a job, but he's got his daytime job, which is regular old basic job. You make good money doing that. You got your cool side gig. That's very, very cool. And you're 21, but you're not the drug dealer. You're not the guy who's supplying booze to the party. If there was one, and this is not wrong, this is a benefit. This is a good trait to have, but this is something that can dry girls up. You're a reliable, responsible man. You're not dangerous. You're not the fun guy, and you probably are fun, but you're not as fun as the drug dealer. And if you want to kind of look, go search T-Rash, either on my channel or elsewhere. I'm not the one that came up with that idea. A friend of mine, she's like, oh yeah, these girls just want to get dicked down by T-Rash. I'm like, T-Rash, huh? And we have special guest celebrity T-Rash in our audience every once in a while. He makes an appearance. But girls, especially at that age, want the dangerous guy. They want the drug dealer. They'll take a felon. I'm not kidding. They will take a felon as opposed to a good, upstanding guy like you. And that's why they're going out with the losers. You know what? It could just be they're not bored with you, but they're not ready to commit. They're 20 years old, 21 years old. They're like, why is you going out? Because you wanted some dick that night. You're at the age where people think it's cool to go to nightclubs. people are doing drugs, which again, I don't have anything against, but your judgment isn't even necessarily clouded. To just know girls, like, if they have drugs, are a little bit more like, oh yeah, and, oh, I want to have fun now. Oh, do you now? Oh, okay, all right, but that's illegal now. Just talk to a man sitting in the prison. So anyway, that is why, if you're wondering why did they go out with this loser, if you can, like, there's FBI profiling, or the cops come up with profiling. Okay, what are the traits? What do we know about this guy? Oh, he does this, so he's very prone to do that. He comes from this area, and he knows these people. If you looked at these guys these girls cheated on, I bet you they had access to drugs, access to booze, probably were the fun party type of guy while you were at the gym lifting weights, right? And I'll tell you this right now, the girls, if there's any consolation to you, the girls who you've gone out with, they're like, oh yeah, he's a good guy. Like, oh yeah, this one. But he's the guy you marry. And I'm too young to I'm going to go and screw around. And if it's also a consolation to you, whatever girls did, like if you had a girlfriend, you're supposed to be committed, and they did cheat on you or leave, they're going to look back when they're 30, 35, definitely 40, like, oh my God, I had this guy. He was an Adonis. He had six-pack abs. He had this really cool job. This is, of course, after they have 3 kids from 5 different fathers. And don't worry, the math works on that. So there's that. Then there was, just calling it as it is, there might be a variable of culture. You said you're black, all right? Are you dating black women? The culture there is very anti-marriage. Out of all the different women out there, I imagine black women are the least prone to get married, statistically speaking, least likely to commit, especially, again, at that age. I'm going to assume you're not exclusively just dating black women, which would put you in the general category, which still at that age group, girls overall are not interested in getting married. But culturally speaking, a lot of black women just don't get married. They're not into commitment. And that's fine. I'm not against it. It's a choice. You don't have to be. But for your interest in women, if you're dating black women disproportionately or exclusively even, that culture, they're just not that interested in marriage. Again, nothing wrong with that, but you need to know that, they should tell you, I have no intention of getting married, or I'm more polyamorous. Again, fine. We're not judging. It's just, I wish they would announce that up front so you all know you're looking for the same thing. It would be no different than, like, do you want to have kids or not have kids? Are you Christian? Are you Jewish? Are you agnostic? What are the religions? Is it important to you? Should we get together? Because, if you want to have kids and she doesn't, that's a conversation you need to have before committing. If she wants to screw around and be polyamorous or never get married, you've got to have that conversation. And that would be a good conversation to have with any girl at this age. Like, hey, what are you looking for? Just fun or not? But since you happen to be black, I don't know if you live in a black community or what, but that's just another thing to consider. And then the other thing is Donovan Sharp. You should listen. Go tune into a little bit of Donovan Sharp. 9s and 10s are for recreational use only. All right. I think you are too good looking, which there is no such thing. But what I mean by that, and in you being too good looking, you're dating the 9s and 10s. You're dating too good looking girls. And girls who are 9s and 10s are too good looking because they are, especially your age. It's like your age is 80% of it. But at your age, at 20, 21, 22, if you're dating 9s and 10s, they're the most spoiled, pampered groups of people in the history of the world. The quote, if you haven't heard it, Bill Burr says, women are surrounded by this tornado of misinformation and nobody corrects them because we want to fuck them. That goes quadruply so for girls who are 9s and 10s. And you may have seen this, but the really drop-dead gorgeous women are the most insufferable. And the reason why is because men want to fuck them and women want to be them. And everyone lets them get a pass. On not everything, but on places you wouldn't imagine. Whether it's better grades, whether it's job promotions, whether it's, you would, for example, you would not tolerate a girl cheating on you. Some guy might because she's hot enough. And so, whereas I'm not against you, If you got a 9 or a 10, sure, go ahead and date the 9 and a 10. But it's a stunted, arrested development, I guess is the psychological term, where you fail to keep growing. Your development has been arrested. It's been stopped. It's kind of like that for really good looking girls. Once you're beautiful and gorgeous, the whole world just does everything for you. You never have to grow as a person, learn ethics, learn selflessness, altruism, sympathy, empathy, considerations of other people. You become solipsistic. You think everybody out there is there to serve you. And they're not necessarily wrong, because if you don't serve me, some other guy will. And that's what I'm wondering, is because you're a very attractive man, and you're a 10. And you're probably dating 10s. It's selection bias. These girls you're dating are just not mature adults, not responsible adults. I don't think you can become a responsible adult until you suffer somehow, until you have to earn your keep. In your case, you obviously go to the gym, you work, you support yourself. I had to work back in the day. I mean, pretty much every guy, unless you were handed a trust fund, you got to claw your way out and form yourself, become a man. Whereas a girl, if she's pretty because of genetics and stays thin, is just given to her, which then women are unaware of, and they think, oh, this is normal. Like playing life on easy mode is normal. But then as they get older, it goes to hard mode. Not even hard. It just goes to veteran. Is veteran the middle one? It just goes to average mode. But that says they had life on easy mode all the time. They just can't handle it. But these people are their development, especially when it comes to forming relationships with others, especially romantic or sexual ones, especially if they're supposed to be committed, they're just not capable of it. They're not. Yes, is there a gorgeous drop dead 10 who is raised right? And yes, it happens, but it's exceptionally rare. And so what I would do in your particular case is, if you want to get married, I mean, good luck to you. If you want a steady girl, good luck to you, especially at that age range. But to increase your chances, I would look at like 7s and 8s. And that would be the sweet spot for you. You're 1 or 2 points higher than them. They're still very attractive. A lot of it also has to do with you. I mean, do you want to get, what's with the rush? I mean, a good philosophical question you might want to ask yourself is, why aren't you out there just dating and throwing seed? Why aren't you just having a good time banging away? Are you religious, or do you just really want to get married early and have a steady gal? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just kind of curious. But if that's what you want, you got 2 choices. One, for now, because you're so young, you're going to have to kind of ignore the girls of your age group. I mean, the right girl comes along. I'm not saying don't date and don't ask, but be very upfront with girl. Like, look, I want to get married and have kids. Yeah, I'm a little bit young, but you're going to save both your times. So that's one thing. You gotta be honest with yourself and honest with the girls you date. 2, if that's what you want, then you're gonna almost have to date older, dating girls in their mid to upper 20s at least. 3, maybe consider going overseas if you're looking for a more traditional marriage, a traditional relationship, and you want to start banging out the kids now. But it's just gonna be like, you're gonna have to wait. Because you're 21, man, you're really young. It's just girls aren't into it, they're not ready to get married and settle down. This is their party and sleep around phase. When you're 30, your chances are going to be statistically much higher. I'm not saying to wait till you're 30. If you want to try and find someone, sure, go ahead and do it. But when you're 30, then okay, the girls hit, as Rollo Tomasi calls it, their epiphany phase. They've slept around. They've washed their face of other men's deposits enough. Like, oh, maybe I should question my life. Mom and dad stop supporting them. They don't have their metaphorical dicks constantly sucked in college. Like, oh my God, you're amazing. They have to work. They got debts. And they're starting to realize, oh shit, life ain't on easy mode so much anymore. And then they're a little bit more receptive to getting married or finding a guy or committing. But you'd have to be like 30, 35 is even statistically better. But then the question is, do you really want to marry up a 28, 29, 30-year-old woman if you want to have younger kids or start a family younger? And you are. I mean, the passport bro phenomenon isn't a phenomenon out of nowhere. It formed in reaction to something, and that is the severe lack of marriageable women, especially young, attractive marriageable women. So men, and they're not all nerds and geeks. They make it sound like all these passport bros are all like these incel virgins. Like, okay, yeah, there's that group, but not all of them. There's some. I know some. I know a guy who has your exact same cool job, and he goes to Columbia. Although he's older, though he's in his 50s. But this dude looks like he's 38. He's in shape. Oh, he's just a despicably handsome man. He's just he looks like Hugh Jackman, but he's young and like, oh, I hate you. And he's a nice guy on top of you. Like, oh, you would be. But a lot of guys I know who go overseas to find women, they do not fit what the feminists wish they were. And that's like some dork incel that can't get married or find a girl, get laid. They're good, accomplished men. And so maybe that's something you might want to consider. But it's not just your individual case, but there's many instances in life where you just gotta wait because society doesn't move at your speed. I've talked about that. You want to see? Let me show you something. You see that there? See that? That's the key to success in life. Gray hair. Because it didn't matter how much I worked or how hard I worked. Honest to God, I think the only way you get promoted, especially as a guy, is until you have gray hair. I couldn't get a real job to save my life or anyone that took me seriously, any kind of serious employer. Now I got gray hair. All of a sudden, I haven't been in banking in years. I got recruited. Hey, we got a vice president of community banking. And I got a vice president of commercial lending. You want to? There's a branch. You want to be the branch president? Where the fuck was this? Oh, I got gray hair. Fucking when I had the ability, the know-how, and the knowledge, and the wherewithal and the work ethic to do it. Oh, he's got gray hair. Promote the guy. Make him president. And so, just like kind of, you got to wait for your career. You got to wait till you're older for people to start taking you seriously in your career. You got to wait. You had to wait till you're 16 to get a driver's license. I think, especially for your generation, you're what, older alpha? And they're just telling these girls to not marry you guys and you don't need a man. And, a career is the most important thing. And fuck family. And what are you, just a baby maker? And just like, it's horrible. Don't raise your kids. I mean, they're really, unless it's changed, they're propagandizing women to not marry you, especially at this age. So you're just going to have to wait. But if you want to, get to it, yeah, you're probably going to have to go overseas. I don't know if you're religious, although that's not obviously a solution, but find an Orthodox church or synagogue, not a modern day westernized. You got to find an old school type of church or religion in general, Orthodox, regardless of the religion. Be forthright with these girls. Like, look, I'm looking to get married and be committed. There ain't going to be no plan. If you got your party girls, reel in your expectations. I don't care what the girls tell you. Just, yeah, dude, like at 21, having the eyes and the experience I got now, if I were to go back in time or become a 21-year-old today, kind of like a Big, the movie, but I still had my wisdom, I would just, I honestly, I wouldn't even expect a committed relationship. Even if the girl said, it would not surprise me if she ran off and cheated on me. It just wouldn't. I mean, that happened to Joker. I think he was 45. He dated a 26-year-old. Surprise, she cheated on him. And he was like, okay, that's the way that one went. He was like, yeah, we're done here. So reeling in your expectations with reality. There's different things that you can try that will, like strategies in gambling increase your statistics. So, all right, you're black. Are you exclusively dating black girls? Have you tried dating other type of girls? If you don't, you're like, no, I like black women. I don't want to, just not attracted. Okay, I get it. But, if you see the cute Latina, well, go ask her out. Don't meet him at the nightclub, I guess. You got to be, I can't say his jobs, he has access. There's a lot of girls. Or maybe, just ain't your time, man. God's just trying to send you a little message, or the universe is, and it ain't your time. God, I think, wait, do you hear? I hear Jesus. You guys hear? You hear him too. I hear Jesus. Jesus saying, client, go and smash a lot of hewers. Go get laid by lots of women. I think that's what Jesus wants you to do, is just go have fun and get laid a lot. Oh, wait, what's that, Jesus? Jesus telling me something. He says not to get any of them pregnant. Yeah, I think it's just bad. You're born in the wrong generation. It's bad timing. So your second question, has it really gotten so bad that I need to just give up on dating? No, you just got to adjust your expectations. You got to change your strategies. I know it. Everyone likes to pick on it, but if you're really serious about a steady girl, you're probably going to have to go overseas, or date a international student, not from Sweden, not from Scandinavia. No, no, no. I mean, like from Asia or traditional culture or Latin. I'm pretty much just ready to call it quits at this point, because has got me fucked over time and time again. Yeah, and another thing you can do is don't get emotionally involved that much. Just, oh my God, can you believe the cat did cat-like things? It brought me a dead mouse. Oh my God, the cat brought you a dead mouse. Oh my God, can you believe the 21-year-old girl cheated on her 21-year-old boyfriend? Shock. Yeah, I think you just got to reel in your expectations and just bide your time. And at your age, just perfectly honest, you should be hustling on what you're doing, your 2 jobs. It's very good. I'd recommend, if you got the time, start doing some reconnaissance. If you don't know, go look up reconnaissance man. The short version is you should probably go and find out where you want to live in this country, so you could start saving up money for a down payment, either on the land or maybe a house. In other words, if the women are not forthcoming, you should absolutely focus on your finances. Like, do you have an IRA? Do you have your retirement plan set up? What about I don't know, all this boring stuff you got to do? Like, do you have a will and testament? Maybe you don't have a lot of assets to pass on, but did you go see the doctor? What about your dental work? There's all this other stuff you can do in the meantime to make yourself a better man, better stable. Finances is the main thing. Does your car need some work? Go figure out how to work on cars. So by the time you're 30, 35, and women roughly in your dating range are ready to get married, you got a house, you got stable finances, you know how to operate the house cheaply by fixing everything. Like, have you thought about picking up carpentry? I think, yeah, maybe you should take a break. Again, if the girl of your dreams walks in, like, yeah, absolutely ask her out. But yeah, I mean, just take a break. How much time did you waste on all these girls? And if you took all that time instead and took some courses at the local community college on how to do plumbing and electrical work, would you now know how to do some plumbing and electrical work and save literally like 50 to 70 grand on your house? Or a mechanic, so you could always fix your car and save literally $100,000 worth of auto repair expenses over the course of your life. So you go do you. Evaluate your options, like overseas, finding a more traditional community. Maybe you date the Latinas. But yeah, that's what I would do. And please grant me some insight I'm missing. You're not missing anything. You just, it's not your time. I think that's the only thing you're missing, is you think there's something that you're failing to do, when it's like, nope, it's your generation. Of course, it was my generation too. It's your age. It's the environment. There's that. All right, let's go to the super chats. Wow, 340. Oh, that's right. It is Wednesday, isn't it? What 18? Holy cow, 18 super chats. Oh my gosh. Athamel Decua, who is totally straight unless he doesn't visit us in Dallas. You either leave them while you still are the exciting alpha, or stay with them long enough until you become the boring beta. They are the problem. Yeah, Atham, trust old man Atham. He's almost 40. Fan I am, 5 Australian. Michael Knowles and Pearlie briefly talked about your book, World Without Men, on the latest interview about marriage. Did you see it? Yes, people sent it to me, and he said he didn't read the book because it had typos up front, which frankly is a bitch-ass move. And I don't say that to cause drama. I say it to describe it, because that is a bitch-ass move. That's like the your, there are like, okay, fine. I don't care. That's how you know you're not going to convince anybody of anything. Like, fine, just keep telling the boys to get married. The pimped out platypus, 10 generous bucks. If Brad Pitt, Elon Musk, Tom Brady, and Jesus can't make women happy, why are you trying? They're easy come, easy go. Don't sweat them, young blood. Just live your life with purpose. Yep. He is young. He's only 21. So this is the time to come to us. You came to us at the right time. We don't want you here. Your goal should be to not be angry about this anymore. To no longer be confused, to understand, especially understand the environment and situation and women of your age. And once you understand that, the anger will go away. You'll still have your frustration of not, well, I'd like to find that's like, that's nice, but I'd like a tig-bitted redhead to just like, show up once a month and then go away. And that just doesn't happen. God does not come in. There's not the tig-bitted redhead fairy that sprinkles her pixie dust and then poof, there's a tig-bitted redhead. Just all like, oh my God, I love guys whose first name starts with 2 vowels. Oh, well, let me tell you my name. Oh, double vowels make me horny. Thank God. Finally, about time. AGB. Oh, I'm sorry, Dre. I skipped you there. $2. Women. I want T-Rash with a PhD in engineering. But especially at that age, when she wants him and until she finds something new and shiny. It's not even monkey branching like, oh, I got to find it's not hypergamy at this. They just want different dick. I'll be perfectly honest. AGB, $5. You'll get the girls after T-Rash is done with them, bro. Just keep working so you can bail them out of a bad decision. Yeah, by the way, you need to work more and make up more money so you can bail them out of the student loans for their whatever, the political science degree. And then to probably have a couple kids in tow. All right. And you better be the stepman who steps up or the stepdad who steps up. I'm kidding. Absolutely don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't ever do that. Never. Oh, never. Why is that? It's against the rules. No one's going to know where that one's from. Dre again for $2. Special guest Terrence Pop is in there. Oh, is Pop in the house? Oh, boy. Bad Pop. All right. If you want a very acerbic seasoned take on women, you could go watch Redonkulous on YouTube. Terrence Pop, his channel's called Redonkulous. Man, all the regulars here. We got Terrence Pop, we got Atham, we got Sam, we got Dre. What's up, Sam? 10 generous dollars. Cappy, what are your thoughts on temple prostitution? I never even temple prostitution. Temple prostitution. Sacred prostitution. In places where prostitution is sacred prostitution, temple prostitution, occult or religious prostitution are purported rites consisting of paid intercourse performed in the context of religious worship, possibly as a form of fertility rite or divine marriage. Scholars prefer the term sacred sex or sacred sexual rites in cases where payment for services is not involved. All right, I'm just going to go to the definition. Sacred prostitution has many different characteristics depending class, religion, One definition that was developed was due to the common types of sacred prostitution that are recorded in classical sources in honor of a goddess once in a lifetime. Once a lifetime prostitution. Professional prostitutes are slaves owned by a temple or sanctuary, and temporary prostitution that occurs before marriage during certain rituals. So far, because it's so amorphous and it's a religious ritual, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, you're presumably doing this to honor or incentivize a god. To have an outcome. I think any ritual is pretty pointless. I mean, if people are voluntarily into it, that's fine. That doesn't. You got 2 consenting adults and they want to do, but paid intercourse. So, I mean, if we're to be technical about it, if they're paid and the women want to do it, I'm sure the guys are ready and the guys are willing. Fine. Go. I guess It would depend. Are we talking the Sumerians? Are we talking the Jews? What are we talking about? And I have to know exactly. Like, you grab some 14-year-old girl who doesn't want to do it and say, you got to do this for God. No, I'm against that. But if it's, here's a 36-year-old, biblical times, Bathsheba smoking her cigarette. How you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, Herschel, come on over here. Yeah. Priest, whatever in the thing, the church, he's paying me. We're gonna do this, otherwise, 7 years feast or famine. And she's fine with it. Okay. How'd you find that, Sam? That's odd. Dre, $2. If he wants nice black women, go to Africa, not the U.S. Well, okay, you're not wrong. Fan I am, 2 Australian. Blood Rage, great game. I'm writing that down. I got a list of games. Someone told me to watch River City Girls 1 and 2. What is it? Blood Rage. Let's write that down. Blood Rage. Okay. I don't know if Bathsheba was a prostitute. Please don't email me. She wasn't. I don't know if she was or not. It's been a long time since Cappy took Bible history. Sam Whiskey, $5. I think it's time to resurrect the tobacco bride. God, what? Damn it, Sam. Oh, tobacco brides. What is a tobacco? What books are you reading today? Tobacco brides. Wikipedia. Following the settlement of the Jamestown colony in the early 1600s, there was a vast gender inequality, as most of those who left for Jamestown were men who were tasked with building and establishing the settlement itself. Roughly a decade later, the lack of gender diversity drove these colonists to leave the colony in large numbers to combat this. Well, yeah, men were shocked. See, I catch a lot of guff because I said, no kitty, no work, which is the premise of my last book, A World Without Men. And everyone's like all shocked that, men won't work for sex, or men won't work unless they're getting laid. And how dare, you think it is. Like, well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's happening now. If men don't get women, I'm not saying women are obligated. All I'm saying is there's a consequence. So fine, your choice. You don't want to have family. You don't want to have kids. Don't want to have sex. Get it. Fine. You're right. You're an individual. Don't be surprised when the men are all like collecting welfare checks and claiming disability and don't show up for work. And that's fine. And women's like, well, we'll work too. Like, okay, go. There's a sewer job. There's an electrical engineer job. There's the military. There's lots of jobs. You can weld. You can code. You can drive truck. Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, well, not my problem. Choices. Everyone has choices. I'm fine with your choices, as long as I don't have to bail you out of them. Just as long as you're okay with the consequences. Yeah, so then they split because there ain't no women. To combat this issue, beginning in 1619, young single women were in England were offered the opportunity to travel to Jamestown and become the wives of the men there, with the purpose to start families and to increase the population. The expense of the women's travels fell upon the men of the colony, who owed 150 pounds of tobacco to the Virginia Company, which delivered these young women to their future spouses. What if you didn't like the guy? You come all the way across the Atlantic. Do you got to go back? These women were incentivized by the promise of land ownership, inheritance rights, as well as their own discretion to choose their own husband. Oh, okay, so there was a choice, all of which were luxuries not awarded to women who remained in England. 90 women. As long as they had a choice, as long as the women had a choice, fine. I don't care. That's perfectly all right. Women can, if they, fine. Again, but then if you took a gun and said, hey, Gertrude, you're going to sail across the Pacific or Atlantic, you're going to go marry Herman, that would be against. They're kind of doing that now, aren't they? Where they're paying people to have kids in a roundabout way. They're paying women to have children. Soon the day will come that we're just going to pay women to have children, but there won't be men involved. It'll just be the sperm bank. Like, here, go have a child. Wouldn't that be the feather in your cap, though, gals, where you didn't have to have the guy? And like, seriously, the government would pay you to have a kid. Just tell me if I'm wrong. Like, isn't this where feminism wants to go, where you would just be paid to have children? And then there'd be daycare taking care of the kids. The schools would educate the kids, and you'd be paid a stipend or a monthly fee for food. And and then you could raise the kid. But if you just cut the men out completely and just had sperm bank, I'm just wondering, is from a policy standpoint, not a lover dating standpoint. I'm serious about that. I'm not trying to be facetious. Would that be something you girls like? What do women want? Who cares? Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. In all intellectual honesty, if the roles were reversed, I probably could do the same. If you can outrun consequences, go live your best life, ladies. Yeah, most human beings want to have sex with the best looking people as much as possible. I think women are they got the opportunity. Oh my God, shock. Women are sleeping with all the hot guys or the fun guys who with drugs or felony convictions or people who ride motorcycles and make bad decisions. Shock. And here's a real straight-laced guy like, hey, this guy's good. Oh, yeah. I like his abs. I can play him like the xylophone, but then ooh, T-Rash. Heroin, you say. Tee-hee. I love you, T-Rash. The Pimped Out Platypus, 10 generous dollars. Terrence Pop is in the chat and paid super chat. Wasn't working for him. This one is to have my big bros back. Well, Pop, text me. Why don't you text me on the phony phone? I'll take a look. Let me pull it up. Tell me where your super chat is, Pop. Just text me and I'll read it here. All right. Yeah, Pop and technology don't go well together. Like he kind of needs Blake around to kind of supervise. So you give Pop like, oh my God, what happened? Sam Whiskey, $5. Cappy, is Latinx part of the X-Men? You know what would be fun? What would be fun is if there was a clever enough person at whatever studio owns the X-Men, and they call them Latinx, and he or she was an actual Latino, but was a very conservative, but you wouldn't want to introduce politics into the X-Men. But be Latinx, and he'd just be like, no, what are you talking? No, I voted Reagan. What are you talking about? It would be funny, but that would require creatives to actually be funny. And we all know creatives aren't creative. They're lazy little spoiled kids from the burbs that mom and dad paid for. And and all they know how to do is barf up socialist crap. AGB, $5. Your boyfriend material, not fun. Outstanding, AGB, outstanding. Your boyfriend material, not fun guy material. They'll swing back around when they need some bailouts and T-Rash loses interest. Let it go, bro. Yep. I hate to tell him to become T-Rash because, you're a good guy. Like, no. You guys ever see A Long Kiss Goodnight? And it's kind of reversed in the sexual roles, but it's Samuel L. Jackson and Gina Davis. And Gina Davis goes from like this little, I think like a school marm, mousy woman. And because she had amnesia, she comes back, she realizes she's like this really vicious trained assassin. And he says, I like the old you. I like that nice lady. She was nice. It's kind of the same thing. No, we like you. We want, but yeah, that doesn't get you laid. Like I said before in a previous video, what would be great is you T-Rash by daytime, but then you sneak out of the house and you go to church and you don't let her know. Ross the Skunk, $2. Welcome back, Cappy. Thank you. It's only been a couple days. Been busy. Dre, $2. The client could join the Amish. They're traditional. I don't know if the Amish are going to take a black guy. Seriously, dude. I don't think they would. You don't want to be Amish either. Trust me. You can learn all the cool self-survival stuff of the Amish without all the religious handicaps, including the use of power tools. I don't like. Could you imagine what the Amish could build if they use power tools? Like, oh yeah, we built this colony on Mars. Lots of beards up there with hats. Hatham Thabit, 7 Canadian. I had a girl pull the I want to get close to God phase when I wanted to sleep with her. Found out later she slept with someone. Oh, dude, that is standard operating procedure for Christian girls. That I had one, dude. Anytime they're like, they make rules for betas, they break rules for alphas. The number of time girls like, oh no, I want to take it slow, and I found out they banged another guy because I just want to see what it was like to bang a Latino. That was common in salsa. Another one like, He was a friend of mine. We were talking like this girl's like, no, I'm religious now and I don't no premarital sex. Da, da, da. Then I'm talking to a buddy of mine years later. I'm like, hey, did you ever meet this girl? He's like, met her. I dated her. I'm like, you dated her? I'm like, yeah, I dated her too. He's like, she was all religious and everything. And da da da. And he's like, oh no, I banged her. I'm like, wait, before or after the religious? He's like, after. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, they just. Wiz Division Productions, $2. Cappy's favorite X-Men is Wolverine because he's a boxer king? A boxer king? Those emoticons don't show up too well. Hatham Thabit, $2.79 Canadian. Ever since dated international or just pay for it? Yeah. Well, this guy doesn't have to pay for it. See, he's trying to find a nice gal to stick with. Sex is not his issue. It's just finding a nice girl to settle down with who's not in her play around phase. Wiz Division Productions, $5. I always used to get way more attention from women when I did not try and just did my own thing. The moment I started chasing shit always went south. Yeah. Alex Patino, our truck driver Latino agent in the field. Hey, Alex, I'm going to be driving across Interstate 40, pretty much the entire length of the country. If you're there, wave. $5 to caveat. Women paint their hair, use a wig, take their nails out, put plastic nails in, Botox operation. God cannot make women happy. How can you? That's a good point. Alex Patino, again, $5. That temple prostitution was practiced in ancient Greece, well all over the world before Christianity. Yeah, the entry had things like Sumeria, which even predated the Greeks, and some other places. Wiz Division Productions, $5. Coach Greg Adams really nailed it when he said getting women and keeping them are two different skills, and both tasks come with their own set of headaches. Correct. Yeah, another person you should listen to would be Coach Greg Adams. I'd listen to him. I think he's just a year older than me. He's a year older and an inch shorter. That's we're that close. Fan I am, 5 Australian. Blood Rage is behind you, but looking to do an imperial. I don't know. I'm at my buddy's house. He's obviously a geek, more of a geek than me. Blood Rage. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know what that's he's a gamer, obviously. All right. Oh, one more. Dre again for $2. Girls Dream Man, CEO by day and criminal at night. Yeah. Or what is it? What the heck was the name of that book? Is it raining out there? God darn it, it's raining. Christian Grey, 38 Ways of Kink. What the hell? 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey. Knew there was a number in there. What was he? A billionaire playboy bondage guy? It just... I can't wait till this guy's twice his age. He's going to be 42. He's like, oh yeah. Here's what I want you to do, buddy. Watch this 21 years from now. You're going to be sitting on some good money. As long as you don't get a girl pregnant, you're going to have like whatever, some refined taste. I just fashion seeing you sitting there at a cigar lounge or at a nice quiet jazz club, having a martini and just enjoying the jazz and the quiet and the martini. You're like, yep. He's just like, nope. That's, I remember those days. All right. That's it. So link below to help you guys out. If you got similar questions, go get the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. I know you boys are genetically programmed. Like, well, there should. Like, the assumption is there's quality girls out there. They are logical. They want to get married and they want to have kids. And inevitably, that's not the case. Please go get the book of numbers. It is an actuarial study about women's interest in men and men's pursuit of women and what the cost benefit analysis on that is. And we'll see you guys later. Toodles.